Hey, today we're going to talk about the sea star or starfish. There are over 2,000 species, I think, or there are 2,000. Okay, there's around 2,000. I'm not a sea star expert, but there's a lot of them, and they're fearfully and wonderfully made, just like everything else God made. It's so intricate, so complex. They're technically not fish, even though they've been called starfish. Live ones can regrow limbs, and they can crawl around and stuff like that. They have little mouths on the bottom that they use to eat with. And yeah, and all this, if you think about all the little cells that make this thing up, it's a unique and cool machine. And if you look at verse 21, it says, And God created, okay, Genesis 1:21, and God created the great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good. So the original creation, it was good. But now, this one's dead. That's not good. They're still abounding, which is great. There's a bunch of them. It says, bring forth abundantly. So there's 2,000 kinds of sea stars or starfish. That's pretty cool. But it's like, what happened? Like, the world's not beautiful all the time. Unfortunately, things die. You find bones of stuff everywhere. So what happened? Well, let's read a little bit farther. It talks about later the fall of man. It would be in Genesis chapter 3, starting around in here. But it talks about when Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. They were supposed to eat of the tree of life and live and be with God. But they decided to find right and wrong in their own eyes, inviting death into the world. So now things break, fall apart. You have to fix your hair in the morning. You have to go get new tires every once in a while, and your shoes wear out. You know, the world's constantly falling apart. It's entropy. So, do we have any hope in this world? I would say yes. God made it a way where we could be aligned with His ideas of good and evil again. We can get back on the right track and continue our relationship. It says in John 3:16 and 17, For God so loved the world that He hath gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through Him might be saved. So belief in Jesus is a way for eternal life and to combat the sad death that now ravages our reality. And that's the lesson of the Bible using starfish. And you can do this with any animal, really. Or you can just use people. Because think about it. I need to cut my fingernails, but fingernails are an amazing design. Good God, I need to cut my fingernails. Jesus help me remember to do that in a little bit. It's like mine are dirty from having to dig in the dirt because they're very useful tools for digging. They're good for picking up dainty things without breaking them. As you can see, this thing is very fragile. They're good for picking up huge boulders or big rocks. They can handle a little rougher. Good for turning pieces of paper. They're good for writing down good ideas with a pencil or pen. They're good for so many different things. And they're self-healing, which is fantastic. Mine a little hairy, but and a little polka dotty. But it's self-healing. You can tell temperature, texture. You can calculate wetness. I know you can't technically feel if something's wet or not. You go by temperature and texture, but I still think you can tell if something's wet or not. But it's just the amazing thing. You gotta hand it to God that His creation is cool. But things don't work out all the time. Things break and fall down, and people use that to try to say that there isn't a God. And I'm like, no, the God of the Bible was an amazing creator. He made a bunch of good things. And man ruined God's perfect world. Because if you looked at the beginning of the book, it said, and it was good. It ain't good anymore, which is sad. And that's why we're waiting for Jesus to come back and fix things and set it right. I hope you make the choice to stand with Jesus today. God bless you, friend, and goodbye.